What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Danny and Kendall. I'm Danny Smart, your host.
And I am Kendall Hunter, a.k.a. Kendall Speaks, your co-host.
And listen, we got some content for you.
Absolutely.
That you do not want to miss.
Oh, all right? Yes.
Get in here. Let's hang out. Let's talk about it.
Listen, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And feel free to join our family.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's Danny Smart here.
Kendall Hunter, a.k.a. Kendall Speaks.
And we want to take a minute to welcome you back to the Danny and Kendall Show. Right here, live from 5380 Studios.
Yes.
Man, we got so much to talk about tonight.
So much has happened, my brother.
Woo! It's crazy. Y'all, it's gonna be a heavy one tonight. So get some people in here and tell them, hey, like, subscribe, share it, and let's get in here. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody. So welcome in. We're really about to get in and dive into some conversation here that is really, really important. And this one, I think, is for all of those who are believers and those who go to church, those who frequent church. And you know, it spans outside of all of that. But I think this one is specifically to those of us who attend church. I know this is probably a major concern. So a couple days ago, in fact, it was Sunday, right?
Yeah,
it was this past Sunday. This shooter goes into the Houston megachurch. Y'all know about the megachurch. What is it called? Lakewood?
Lakewood, yes.
Lakewood, wow. Pastor Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
They had an active shooter in the church. Came in. Yeah, it's crazy. And our condolences to that family. You know, she's still a soul, you know. Yeah. She was a soul that had some issues, but she was still a soul and still somebody's daughter or granddaughter. So condolences to them, but more so our prayers.
Oh, she died.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Are you serious right now?
You ain't tell the lady died.
You're supposed to do your homework.
I told you to send it to me when you got it. I didn't know the lady died. Where she died? Who? Which, the kid or the lady?
The lady, the shooter.
Oh, she died.
Yeah.
Well,
my God. Ooh, if you don't get right,
I want to figure who you doing condolences to. I didn't know you threw me off when you said condolences. I was saying, ain't nobody died.
Wow.
But okay, somebody died and it was her.
She died.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't.
Woo, you don't get right, you're going to get left.
I mean, I didn't know that the lady had died, but I would be.
How did you not know that?
Because last time we talked, you didn't tell me the lady died. Because we would
excuse us.
But I mean, I'm sorry she's gone, but
of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's not a laughing matter. We're not laughing.
Yeah, because she's a soul, but I mean, I wouldn't be no condolence to her. But anyway.
What? Sir, what do you...
Woman going to shoot up to everybody in church, and we having church and worship.
She still has a family, man.
Oh, yeah.
She still has a family.
Don't let this out, because boy, they won't like me.
So anyway... yeah, so Sunday, this shooter, active shooter, comes into Lakewood. That's the name of the church, right?
Yes, Lakewood.
Lakewood.
It's Lakewood.
So as she comes in with her 7-year-old child, who we also know now is he is because he's still alive. He was hit. He was hit with a gunfire, but we know.
Wow.
Yeah, so we know he's special needs, and from
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so from what the reporters say, that he was extremely special needs, like he needed a lot of assistance. So
Wow.
yeah, so she brought him with her, and they were in between services. They were in between and getting ready to go into their Latin service, the Latino service.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And so she opens fire, and of course everybody's running for their lives and that kind of thing. The cops come in and they shoot and they knock her down, but her son goes down too. He gets hit in the fire as well, and he's in critical condition. So we're definitely praying for that child, who's more than likely just kind of brought into this situation.
Oh man! Of course, he don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So she was killed right
Was she
there.
black or white?
I think she was Latin. She's Latino.
Really?
Yes, Latino.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man, that these things. Her name is Janesse Yvonne Marino. She was 36 years old.
Oh wow.
She entered the church and she had a trench coat on, had a backpack, and she opened fire. And of course, the police.
Was she a member of that church? She was just a guest visiting.
Well, when I listened to the report says that she has posted before where she's made a donation to Lakewood in the past.
Wow.
So, she's had some kind of connection with the church.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So,
well, maybe Trump is right about, I don't know. Trump saying that these people, coming from the...
I don't think you need to continue that sentence.
Because
anything that Trump said.
Well, I'm just saying that.
To say Trump is right about anything.
Well, actually for me, I was not thinking that what he was saying was legitimate. I didn't think there was any validity to what he was saying. I was like, oh, he just saying
I still don't.
But I don't know, man. If they're coming over here like that on the borders and coming and shooting up places.
Let's not say that.
Okay.
Let's not say that.
Well, I don't.
You do realize what that is, right? That's a generalization.
Well, I'm not saying, of course, there's so many sweet people over there.
Right, but you're saying...
And they're very sweet and kind.
Right.
But I'm saying there are some bad ones, too.
There's some bad Americans.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying maybe this is one of those situations that if this was not... if there was some proper vetting going on, maybe that could have been avoided.
But that brings us to the real issues here, because I think the issue is not so much vetting of a nationality or a race of some sort, or people coming from a different place, a different country. The issue here is the vetting of people that are coming into this house of worship. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So my question is, how did she get in this church with a trench coat and a gun and nobody saw?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There has to be, whether it's with the border, whether it's with the local assembly, the local church, there should be some kind of vetting process. Just anybody shouldn't just be able to walk in there with a gun.
I agree. So
I don't know.
The question is, man, are our churches safe now? Are our churches safe? We talked about we talked about mass shootings, right? So check this out, right? I was looking at some statistics as it relates to mass shootings in 2024 and back. So just in the month of February, now this is what the statistics say here. This is the Gun Violence Archive. All right. So the Gun Violence Archive says February 14th, there was a shooting and there was a mass shooting and 2 victims were killed, 2 victims were injured.
Wow.
All right. On that same day, and another, that was in Claxton, Georgia, right? So Kansas City, Missouri, there's another shooting. 1 victim killed, 22 injured.
Wow.
On that same day in Atlanta, 0 killed, 4 injured. On the 13th in Maryland, Baltimore, 0 killed, 4 injured, right?
Unbelievable.
On the 12th, Bronx, New York, 1 killed, 5 injured. On the 11th in Jackson, Tennessee, 0 killed, 4 injured, right? It's crazy. Like, and this, I can go on and on and on, all the way into January and further back. So this whole thing about mass shootings, man, I feel like is something going on. We've seen this kind of activity
Absolutely.
in our country. We've seen it
Yeah.
on a secular scale where we've seen, mass shootings in schools, that kind of
Right.
thing.
So unfortunate.
Yeah. But now we've seen it here in the last 5 years. We've seen more mass shootings in houses of worship.
Yeah.
So the question is, are our churches safe, man? You had the young man, remember the 9 that were killed in South
Yeah.
Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The young man walked into I think it
Oh,
was
yeah.
Bible study. Mm-hmm. Walked into the Bible study and sat with them through
Yeah.
the whole thing and then killed all of them. Or
Yeah.
killed 9 of them, I should say. Killed 9 of them in the Bible study.
Yeah.
So are our churches really safe? So what is anybody vetting
Wow.
these people? Like, what is there a system in place where people can feel like the church is safe? Like it really is, like the sanctuary really is what the true essence of the word sanctuary means.
And I don't know personally, for me, I'm just trying to figure out one, well, in particular, that situation in Carolina. Well, when I looked at him as they was taking him out, yeah, I don't know how, he couldn't sit inside my service the way that guy looked. He looked like one of them Beatles or somebody. I don't know about it. One of them Mormons kind of, I don't know what them people, not, what them people name.
Oh, God.
But anyway, it's something.
We're gonna be demonetized, God knows.
And we sitting there with all black African American church, predominant black church.
Yeah.
And this kind of a guy walk in with that kind of haircut and sit there inside the worship service for a long period of time. For me,
Yeah.
that would have been a red. It would have been all kind of red flags for me.
Well, I agree. I
And if
think
he had a bag with him too.
yeah.
He had a bag with
so
him.
my thing is not so
Oh,
much
no.
about haircuts and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
my
the
thing
way
is
you
about
look. Sometimes people can look.
they have a
very
suspicious look. Yeah.
You better look at how they look.
And that's the thing for me, the whole suspicious look.
Yes.
And is there anybody that is, really paying attention? So my question is, how did she get into this church with what is it? And what she had AR-15? I think that's what it was.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. So how? Like, how does someone get past you with a gun that size?
Well, no one is thinking about it's nowhere on anybody's mind. But that's why there need to be somebody who's paid to have it on their mind.
I agree. So that's the next question then. Should we place people
Yes, absolutely.
in place
Absolutely.
who are licensed to carry
Absolutely.
in our
Absolutely.
ministries?
Oh yes, we better. we're in a different time now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we have to watch as well as pray. We have to be very attentive to the people of God who's coming there, and we have to protect them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you come to the house of worship, you want to feel safe. And there used to be a time.
Oh yeah.
There used to be a time. There was some things you didn't do on church ground.
Right.
Am I right about it?
You're right.
Yeah, you didn't cuss on church ground.
Right.
You didn't smoke on church ground.
Right.
You didn't fight on church ground. That was unheard of.
Yeah.
Fighting in the church, you didn't hear that.
That's right.
Nor did you see it. So it is no longer, and it's sad and it's very unfortunate that we're sitting here having this conversation because church has now become a place where we're no longer safe at.
Sure.
I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Sure.
So I do think, I don't know what this gun law process is. I don't know what they're doing about that. I don't know what's the latest updates in regards to the gun laws. But, everybody should not have a gun.
I agree. And I think, and when you study the story, they continue to develop and get more information about this lady.
Mm-hmm.
She has a history of mental illness.
Oh God, see.
And she also has a history of she has a history with the cops, with the law.
Wow.
So, it's not the first time.
Oh, man.
And they talked to some of the neighbors where she lived, and the neighbors had been complaining. And this is another thing I think we need to talk about too. The neighbors had been complaining about her for some time. They said as long as like 4 years, they've been saying, this lady is a problem. She's a problem. She has a problem. And all the cops have said was, until she does something to you, we can't do anything about it.
Oh,
which
wow.
I think is crazy. So she has a history of these things. And I just think that if you're going to get a gun, or if you're going to be allowed to carry a gun or buy or purchase a gun, that there should be some checks. There should be some checks and balances in place where, okay, we need to know what your history is. What is your mental health like? Because if in fact you got some issues, you don't need a gun.
Right, absolutely.
You don't need a gun. You need a couch. You need to be healed and probably some medication.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So
And I totally agree with all of what you're saying. I think we're getting to the place we're going to need to have some kind of security, special security, in the entrance of the building of the worship place.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, what is just like you go through TSA.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be that because you have to remember there are kids in the sanctuary as well.
Absolutely.
It's not just adults.
Yeah.
We have kids in the sanctuary, in children's church. And I mean, come on. And you just allow anybody to just walk in there. Who's never will let them come? Yeah, that used to be a time.
Yeah. Not now.
Not now.
So I think my question is this, because when you bring up allowing people to carry, that are licensed to carry in the church, does that go for everybody?
No.
You get what I'm saying? No. Because there are people, I know there are people in my church who I know are licensed to carry.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And there are people I know that are in church, sitting in church.
Oh, absolutely.
Prepared.
Absolutely.
But should we all be able to carry our guns if we are owners or gun owners? Should we be able to carry them in church, or what do you think?
Well, man, hey, it's sad that we're here.
It is. It's crazy.
It's sad that we're here, and ordinarily I would just say absolutely not. No guns in the church. But of course, that would have been 10 years ago. 20 years ago.
Probably less than that.
Or less than that, right. But now, that may be a different song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe but I still believe that even in that, that should still be a vetting process as to who carried the gun.
I agree.
Yeah, not every member who had, just because you have a gun don't mean you need a gun in
Right.
church.
Right. I was looking at just some things online. I saw a clip on YouTube where this church, they showed their security system and the whole process that they have.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, it's amazing. This church in Tennessee, amazing. They have a mega church, and they make sure they have certain people who are scattered throughout the audience in every section. Who is licensed to carry, who is carrying, who's unidentified, of course, who is prepared to make a move if anything happens in church. And I think we need to be having these kinds of conversations. I'm definitely getting ready to have a conversation with some people in my church. I have a retired officer in my church.
Awesome.
And my plan is to sit with her to really discuss how we can develop a plan of security. And I want to say to, maybe pastors, anybody that's kind of watching, this does not mean that you're any less spiritual or that you don't trust God.
No.
You just use common sense.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to be caught off guard.
Yes.
You don't want to move foolishly.
Right.
Trying to look like you're full of faith.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, God will put a shield around me and a bullet won't touch me. Okay, stand up.
Right.
Let's see what happens when that bullet comes through your shirt, through your, we believe in miracles and we believe in the power of God and all those kinds of things as believers.
Yeah.
But we also should operate with common sense.
Common sense. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think it's important, and I think it was important to kind of have this conversation tonight around safety, safety in the house of God, houses of worship.
Right.
What are we doing? Are we raising awareness to put procedures in place? What are we doing? And again, because I wanted to ask that question too, because some people carry and they don't feel like they have the right to, or they don't they're scared to bring their gun to church. But hey, I would say for those that ask that question, can I bring my gun to church? Maybe talk to your pastor, talk with them and just let them know, hey, I want to feel safe.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And I have a license to carry, et cetera, et cetera.
So you believe that conversation should be had with your pastor before you start bringing your gun to church?
I think just out of respect, I don't know, maybe.
And awareness, maybe?
Yeah, awareness. Not necessarily, respect, but awareness mainly.
Mainly, yeah.
Just so that, and you never know, it may bring another level of comfort or confidence with the pastor, with the leadership, and maybe you might be able to be, considered one of the ones that's kind of on standby if anything happens.
Right. And we are always safe in His presence.
Sure.
Just like the saints was on Sunday.
Right.
And look what happened. Now, that doesn't mean that they were not in the presence of God or they had not an encounter. However, there was still some safety issues that we had on Sunday. And
we had somebody that was hit.
Absolutely.
We had a 57-year-old man
Yeah.
who was hit in the leg.
Yeah.
Thank God he's doing okay.
Thank God. Man.
He's doing okay.
That could have went another way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's be safe out there, folks. It's a different kind of world, and
a different kind of world, man.
I don't want to be the downer or anything like that. I still want you to go to church, trust God, and know that He is our protector, and we do have the blood. I believe in that.
Absolutely.
But I also believe in being practical.
Yes.
I also believe in doing things that are necessary. God gave us common sense for a reason.
Oh yeah, there's a thin line between faith and foolish.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to know.
You got to know that line.
You got to know that line
and tread lightly.
and tread lightly. Absolutely.
You really got to be careful. You know. So I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, man.
So you think that definitely that every church should have some kind of security in place?
Absolutely.
As it relates to their worship service.
Absolutely. And look at this, bro. Like, okay, you know,
right?
I'm gonna take you back, right?
Sure.
So, you know how we grew up, right? We grew up in the old school church.
Right.
We had church on Sunday nights.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, you know, we done shouted all day Sunday, but we're coming back Sunday night for Sunday night church.
Oh yeah.
And in Sunday night church, the thing about Sunday night church was that anything could happen, right?
Anything could happen.
And strays would come in off the street.
Oh, yeah.
People would come in off the street all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one gentleman came in. He was drunk, and, you know, them old saints, they got on him. They weren't scared at all.
Wow. Wow.
They weren't scared. They prayed him sober. But,
oh, yeah. Right.
But I don't know that we have in every church those kinds of prayer warriors who are praying people sober these days.
Right.
You know, so we want to, I think it's important to have some kind of security measures in place and protective measures in place, because people come in, as we see, off the street, and it's hard to vet people. But I got people on the doors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who are always looking, you know, and they're like, nah, bruh, you ain't coming in here like that.
Right.
You know, so, and some people don't like it, you know, but hey, it's a part of protection. You know,
and the person who's doing the vetting needs to be also carrying.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, just like you say, that person says to that individual, no, you can't come in, and they want to challenge them.
Right.
Well, they need to be in position to be able to protect themselves and those who are there inside the worship experience. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is almost oxymoronic. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
That we are literally having this conversation about the safety of the house of worship.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, we need to talk about it.
Absolutely. And it's not being a downer. It's just accepting the reality in the world that we live in today.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. So I want to encourage some people to, maybe if you don't see anything like that in place, maybe talk to the leadership of your church and say, hey, what are we doing about, you know, protective measures of the church, security? Do we have security teams? Do we know anybody that's willing to volunteer, or you know, are we connected to the local law enforcement? You know, are we connected to the leadership of the city? I think those things are important too. You know, to be connected in a way that you have relationship. I heard Dr. A.R. Bernard say something like, relationship is the currency of life.
Of life, yes.
Yeah, so
it really is.
Yeah, and I agree. There are a lot of things that relationship can get you that money cannot.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to develop relationship with the leadership in your city. Come on, talk to me, somebody.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think it's important. So maybe you know, reach out. Talk to somebody, especially within the church, to see if we have these things happening. And if not, you know, let's see what we can do about getting it done. You know?
Man, sounds good. Listen, I really, I'm going to try to, you know, get me a gun myself.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just might to come in and try me while I'm leading worship. Listen. I will worship and shoot. Huh? I can't hear nobody talking.
One hand lifted and one hand aimed.
Right. Come on. One hand lifted and one hand aimed. You better believe it. Huh? And we gonna pray that you see the Lord.
The Lord. We're gonna pray with you before you go.
We gonna pray. I'm trying to tell you, because you're going to see him.
Yeah, and some people don't think that believers should carry guns.
Oh, I know. I was one of them. I was one.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't believe that, and I was absolutely probably over spiritualizing it. But hey, look, no, that is the reality, the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
But I was there. I was once there. I didn't think anybody should come in church with a gun.
Wow.
The Lord gonna take care of us.
My God.
The Lord gonna protect us.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna allow anybody to come in here and shoot up His people.
Okay.
Yeah, but those people can't say that in Carolina.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
right.
and I'm sure
And
that
in
maybe
Texas,
they had the same mentality because
Right.
they were older saints as well. So they're not sitting there thinking
somebody's going to come in.
that somebody's going to come in.
Yeah.
And if that was a thought, I'm sure they said what I said. Oh, the Lord is not going to allow that to happen.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I am covered by the blood of
Okay.
Jesus.
And we're going to plead the blood over that gun, over that
Hello.
that 45.
Yes.
That 9mm.
That 9mm.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. And listen, and make sure, Bishop, that when you get that security and get them armed in your church, tell them no shouting and dancing.
That's it.
Your praise will be in the car.
You need to
on
praise
the
him
way home.
On the way to the church and on the
Yes.
way home.
That's your time.
That's your time to worship.
Yeah, we don't need you jumping and shouting because that thing can go off.
Hello.
And it won't be a shooter from the outside.
No.
It'll be a shooter on the inside job.
Come on here.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to
We
get
don't
hurt.
have time for you to be shooting yourself in the foot.
Right.
Why you shouting and shoot yourself in the foot? Can you imagine?
Oh man, that
Go to the hospital.
thing. You go to running around because you.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
Shot myself in the foot. How'd you shoot yourself in the foot?
Oh man, listen.
I was praising God,
Listen.
and I got a little happy and shot myself in the foot.
No, we don't need that to happen. No, we gonna need you to stay on post.
Please,
No running, no jumping and shouting.
none of that.
Yeah, you just stand still and see the salvation of the Lord.
We're gonna shout for you.
Hello, absolutely.
We're gonna shout for you. Well, listen, people. It's been a bit heavy,
Yeah.
It's been a bit heavy, but it's necessary. It's a serious subject, and we just wanted to kind of bring some awareness to it. And since we are both a part of that community, rather,
Yes.
the Christian community.
Oh yeah.
We are believers, and we're not ashamed of that.
Oh
We'll
no.
never be ashamed of that.
Everywhere we go.
We talk about any and everything
Come
on
on.
this podcast,
Yes.
but we are never ashamed
Yeah.
of our relationship with God. So
Absolutely.
just wanted to kind of bring some awareness to that, since that was something that just really happened, and
Just happened. Wow.
and wanted to make sure that we brought some awareness to it, so some people are maybe talking about it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And let's continue this dialogue and conversation around safety in the
Yes.
church, safety in the sanctuary, when the church is no longer a safe place.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
something, man. That's something.
We're safety in His arms, but we want to be safe in the building too.
Hello. Amen.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
I like that. We're safe in his arms,
We're safe in His arms.
but we want to be safe in the church too.
Come on. Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. So that's about it today. What you want to tell the people before we get out of here, man?
Go get a gun.
Go get a gun.
Get a gun. And let the Lord use you.
The peace that surpasses all
peace.
understanding.
That surpasses all understanding. I say the peace
Medea said, "Peace is made of steel."
is made of steel. Yes.
But in all seriousness,
Oh, yeah.
if you are going to carry, if you're going to get a gun, do take all the necessary precautions.
Please do.
Go through all of the classes.
Please do.
Get properly certified
Please do.
so that you can carry and be safe.
Because the last thing we need is you shooting the gun and you on the floor.
Right.
And the shooter, the one who came in, didn't even get shot.
Right.
Because you on the ground, the bullet done went to the ceiling or done hit somebody else. And you on the floor hollering. No. We need you to be well. We We need you to be well equipped to be able to handle the peace, huh?
I am so dead. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's a very true thing. Very real.
You need help, sir.
Wow.
You really got to get help.
People are carrying things that they can't handle, huh? Listen.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
It's the truth.
You're right. You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
Trust me, I'm going to get I'm one of those ones that's going to go through all the procedures and the process of being able to carry.
Yeah.
And but still, don't run up on me now, because you don't know what I got going on.
Hello.
You don't know what I got going on.
Hello. And I never said whether or not I'm certified or not.
Right.
Okay.
You don't want to find out.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Right.
Hello. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, it's been an amazing time with you guys. We love you. Listen, have faith. Be good. Be good.
God bless.